As slow-moving Florence, and it is slow-moving up the coast, continues to batter the Carolinas, the U.S. Army is out in full force, ready to help with recovery efforts.
The commanding general of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, Lieutenant General Todd Seminote, joins us now for more. Tell us what you're seeing on the ground and hearing from those who are working very hard right now to make sure everything's going as smoothly as possible.
Well, Katie, first of all, thanks so much for having us on. And all of us in the Department of Defense are awful proud to be able to serve those great people in the Carolinas, people like Squirrel. So our thoughts and prayers are, we know you got 950,000 people. We're with all those people down there to be able to help out. What we're seeing on the ground is a change in the storm. The big thing that happened here originally was a lot of wind and a lot of water. We've seen the wind come down. So where the wind would normally cause more power outages and more debris, what our biggest focus right now is on water. From a Department of Defense perspective, life safety clearly is the #1 priority. And we're working for FEMA, but it's to be able to get out on the ground and be able to make sure that we're doing everything we can to save lives. And this is where DOD is all in. The senior leadership of the Department of Defense have sat down with the Navy, the Army, the Air Force, and the Marines, and made sure that we're leaning forward to anticipate challenges. The Marines have got the Kearsarge and the Arlington coming in, 2 big ships for the Navy to be able to reinforce. We've got Army patrols out there doing search and rescue today. So just a lot of work by Department of Defense to be able to lean forward on this.
General, yesterday you mentioned an astonishing number of dams in North Carolina. There are a lot of dams on these rivers, big rivers. We're anticipating a surge. Any concerns there?
There are a lot of concerns, and right now there's 7 big rivers that feed into this affected area. We've got probably about 10 federal dams, but maybe as many as 8,000 state and local dams. So what we've got is we've got our teams out working very, very closely with the state. We want to make sure the structural integrity of those dams is not at risk, and we don't see any significant challenges, but there are people on the dams right now. But the bigger question here is in the next 3 or 4 days, is all this water continues to come into all these dams, and these rivers have got 5 or 10 different dams all in line. How does that cumulative effect end up having some degree of stress on these very full rivers?
Are we worried about breaching of those dams, considering we're seeing potential for record rainfall?
Right now, we're not. We're worried about overtopping. In other words, a structurally integral dam that ends up having more water to come down. But what happens is if you end up having too much water in some of these, I am worried about some of the smaller ones. And that's why we've got repair teams. If, in fact, the state or the local see a challenge, then the Corps will come in to be able to help build those dams back up.
All right, Lieutenant General, appreciate you coming in.
Appreciate it.
Well, we're all for honored to be able to help out whatever we can do for the people of Carolina.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.